In this video, we're taking a look at Go Collect's hottest comics for the week of July 8th. We got some classic Silver Age blue chips and an obscure 80s character. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this video, we're taking a look at Go Collect's hottest comics for the week of July 8th. Now, for those who don't know, Go Collect puts out a weekly article that analyzes the hottest selling comic books based on movement and eBay sales data. And you know what it is? It's Monday, so we got to take a look at the list together. But before I get into the books for today, if you guys can drop me a like or a comment or subscribe if you're enjoying the content, help support the channel, do one of those things, and I would appreciate it. All right, that said, let us get into the books for today. And we got some really cool ones on this list. All 5 books are really awesome. We got some Silver Age blue chips. And the number 1 book is super interesting because it's an obscure 80s character, which we will definitely talk about. But I will put a link into the description if you guys want to do further reading of the article. Of course, the article is written by Matt Tuck, great Go Collect writer. Highly recommend you check it out. But let's get into the books here today. And like I like to do, let's start with this list here at the bottom. You can see there the title, Hottest Comics for 7-8, Dreadstar Pushes Up. A little bit of a preview of who we're going to talk about in the number 1 spot. But we're here in the number 5 spot, so we got to talk about this book here. Amazing Spider-Man number 14, up 987 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, you guys know this is the first appearance of the Green Goblin, the classic blue chip Silver Age book written by Stan Lee and drawn by Steve Ditko back in 1964. And what do you got to say about this book? This is just an incredible collector's blue chip Silver Age grail. I mean, Green Goblin, we got to put him up there right in the top 5 supervillains of all time, right? I mean, when we think about classic Marvel villains, I mean, I feel like the Green Goblin is up there. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Is Green Goblin a top 5 villain? I kind of feel like he might be. And why do people want to get their hands on this book recently? Well, there's been so much rumors that in Amazing Spider-Man 3 that we're going to get later on in the year, we might see the Sinister Six pop up in that movie. And it's possible that they're going to use the Green Goblin, played by Willem Dafoe, in the Sam Raimi universe as a member of that team and also be the main villain of this storyline here. So that's one of the reasons why this book has gotten so hot. Everybody wanting to get their hands on the Green Goblin character and wanting to get their hands on, Norman Osborn and thinking that he's going to play a huge role in the MCU moving forward. And that's one of the reasons that this book is so hot. And who knows, when we get that Amazing Spider-Man 3 trailer later on in the year, I feel like this book is absolutely going to blow up if we start to see some of those characters pop up in this current rendition of the MCU films. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see, I mean, this is not a cheap book by any means. We can see 9.8. There is one copy, one sale back in November of 2015. Fair market value today suggests that it would be $170,000. Definitely nothing to sneeze at. And then here at the bottom, we can see sub $1,000 numbers here, but I doubt that. I feel like if you want to get your hands on this book in any kind of way, in a low grade, it's going to be pushing that 4-figure range. You're going to need to fork over, $1,100, $1,200 or so because this book is getting so hot. And who knows where that number is going to be once we get Green Goblin back into the Spider-Man universe in the MCU. All right, let's go on now to the next book here. And the next book is another blue chip classic Spider-Man book, and that's Amazing Spider-Man number 5, up 987 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the classic cover Dr. Doom versus Spider-Man, the first battle between these two characters, early Amazing Spider-Man book, again, written by Stan Lee and drawn by Steve Ditko. Top 5 Amazing Spider-Man books. I mean, what do you got to say about this one? This is just an ultimate classic book, a Silver Age blue chip. And of course, like I mentioned, there's been a lot of excitement over the rogue gallery of Spider-Man villains coming back into the Spider-Man 3 movie. Maybe we're going to get the Sinister Six in some kind. But one of the other villains that, people are excited about, of course, coming to the MCU is Dr. Doom. And when we look at Dr. Doom's books, his first appearance, Fantastic Four number 5, and other classic Dr. Doom key issues, they're all exploding because of the excitement surrounding this character. And for that reason, I feel like a lot of people are like, hey, if I can't get Fantastic Four number 5, maybe I can get Amazing Spider-Man number 5, another great Dr. Doom cover. And talking about S-tier Marvel villains, I mean, what do you got to say about Dr. Doom? I feel like Dr. Doom is the number 1 villain in all of Marvel comic books, maybe the number 1 villain in all of comic books, perhaps only behind the Joker. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see that there is a 9.8 on the census. So last sale back in August of 2013, fair market value suggesting that it would be $175,000. And then here at the bottom, again, another book that you Go Collect suggests that it could be around the $500, $600, $700 range. range. But again, like the last book, this is one that's just so hard to get your hands on this book, even at the low grade. And this is one that I see always pushing the $800, $900, $1,000 range or so. So Amazing Spider-Man number 5, first Doctor Doom and Spider-Man battle, and a classic cover. All right, let's go on now to the next book here. And the next book is actually really cool as well. This is Nova number 1, up 992 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the first appearance of Richard Rider Nova. And there has been so much speculation that we are going to get Nova in the MCU in some kind of way. A lot of people feeling like we were maybe going to get him in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie. I mean, certainly they've already set up the Nova Corps as being canon to the MCU. We've actually seen them in the Guardians of the Galaxy universe. Of course, their planet was destroyed by Thanos in his quest to get the Power Stone. So who knows? Maybe one of those helmets was flung off into space and landed on Earth, and Richard Rider's going to pick it up in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. We don't really know how Nova's going to come into the MCU, but when he does, this book is absolutely going to go bonkers. And of course, it's already getting hot. I mean, this is one that has, I feel like, is always ebbing and flowing between, being a hot spec book, being a hot book in the market, being a book that people want to invest in. But, it's one of those long plays. I mean, we don't actually know when Nova's going to show up. Even if he is going to show up in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie, I mean, we're still probably 2 years away from getting that actual appearance. But regardless to say, this is still a great investment book, one that I have in my collection, one that I would like to have multiple copies in my collection, because I feel like this is one that's going to continue to grow as we get Nova in the MCU. And as we dig into the numbers here, we'll see there is a 9.8 fair market value being sold around the $1,600 range. And you can see here, July, June, July, June, 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 June. So a lot of sales going on, a lot of people wanting to jump on this book, and for good reason. I think that this is a great book to get your hands on. And then here at the low end, you won't see this book slab too often because it's from 1976, but I typically see this book being sold around the $70, $80, $90, $100 range, depending on the grade, even at the low end. All right, let's go on to the next book here. And the next book is another cool one. This is Immortal Hulk number 16 Bennett variant, up 994 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, this is the great Al Ewing Immortal Hulk run that has taken the comic book world by storm. I mean, everybody was talking about this run. Everybody loves this run. I believe the run is coming to an end soon for Al Ewing. He's going to be jumping over to the Venom comic book. Now, it's hard to say exactly why this book has gotten hot recently, but there are a lot of cool things about this book. One being that is the first cameo appearance of the Red Harpy. Red Harpy was actually the regular Harpy created back in Incredible Hulk 168. Of course, this was Betsy Ross, the love interest of Bruce Banner, transformed by MODOK into this bird-like Harpy creature. And then here in the Al Ewing story, they would kind of tie her to the Red Hulk character and make her the Red Harpy. This would be her first cameo appearance. And I believe the fans really liked that storyline, gave her a really horror element, and one that has always gone toe-to-toe with the Incredible Hulk character, one of his great villains. And who really knows? I mean, maybe people feel like we're going to see Liv Tyler make a return into the MCU. I mean, we're already getting Abomination. We've already gotten General Ross and a bunch of things. Who knows? Maybe we're going to get Tim Blake, the leader, come back at some point in the She-Hulk show. And why wouldn't they just bring Liv Tyler back as well? I mean, bring back the entire Hulk universe and, hey, make her the Red Hulk, make Ross the Red Hulk, make her the Red Harpy, take this Al Ewing storyline. Could be really cool. But this book here is valuable for that reason, is the first cameo of Red Harpy. And then also here, this variant, of course, a Bennett variant. People love their variants, so it's a little more exclusive. People love the horror covers. This one kind of reeks of some of that, Venom stuff that we also saw in the Donny Cates run as well. And for that reason, it's pretty cool to me. Immortal Hulk 16 Bennett variant is the number 2 hottest book. And as we dig into the numbers here, you'll see sales here in June for around the fair market value, $75 range. So definitely a book that is very, very affordable and a very cool one to get your hands on. All right, let's go on now to the last book here. And the last book is super, super interesting. This is Dreadstar number 10, up 997 spots. And what is the significance of this? Well, there is not necessarily any specific significance to the number 10 issue. I could be wrong about that. Let me know out in the comments if you guys actually do know what the significance of this particular book is. But Matt didn't actually have a reason as well. But what we do know about the Dreadstar character is that he was a character created in Epic Illustrated number 3, written by Jim Starlin back in 1980. This would be the imprint of Marvel Comics as a comic book label, Epic Comics. And later on on, Dreadstar would go on to get his own series called Dreadstar #1. This would be written by Jim Starlin. Of course, Jim Starlin famously wrote a lot of the Adam Warlock storylines. He created the Thanos character, and he sort of kind of re-emerged into kind of pop culture because of the success of Endgame. And it's recently been announced that Jim Starlin is actually going to get back to this character and do sort of a Kickstarter campaign where he's going to release a 100-page sort of graphic novel of the Dreadstar character. And speculators going to speculate, and everyone goes crazy for these things, and everyone wanted to get their hands on the Dreadstar comic books back from 1982. So everybody kind of was chasing the Dreadstar #1 issue, and I guess everyone's chasing all of the Dreadstar issues. This one right here, a great cover, very, very cool, dynamic pose. So Dreadstar #10 making the list for that reason. And as we dig into the numbers here, you'll see very, very affordable. I mean, there is a 9.8 selling fair market value for $36. I mean, that alone is already the cost of the process to slab it from CGC. So pretty good deal overall. If you can find this book for $36, I mean, why not? It's like the cost of the slab itself. So very cool. Who knows what's going to happen with the Dreadstar character? Very exciting to have Jim Starlin sort of take up the pen again and start to write some comic books once again. I've always loved Jim Starlin as a writer. I mean, I'm such a fan of the Volume 3 version of Silver Surfer, one of the first comic books that I read as a young kid. So Jim Starlin has always been sort of a writer that I really admired his ability to tell stories. So very, very cool. Maybe I'll check this out myself. But regardless, Dreadstar #10, up 997 spots, is the hottest comic of the week. Well, that is all I have for this video. Those are the hottest comics for the week of July 8th. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have any of these books? That is all I have for this video. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will see you in the next video.